8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and 11 a.m. 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and 5 p.m. News at noon, 12 noon. News from across the states, 4 p.m. And our major news at 6 p.m. Citizen FM 93.7. Always precise in news broadcast. Looking for the best in news updates?
Yeah, man.
Listen to Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja.
This is 93.7 Citizen FM Abuja.
Good evening and welcome to Citizen FM News at 6. I am Didi and first the headlines. INEC declares Tinubu winner of the presidential election. President-elect Ahmed Tinubu pledges to serve Nigerians submissively, and 32 people have been confirmed dead in Greece. The Electoral Commission INEC has declared Bola Tinubu, the candidate of Nigeria's ruling party, All Progressives Congress, as the winner of Saturday's presidential election. Tinubu defeated 17 other candidates who took part in the election. He scored a total of 8,794,726 votes, the highest of all the candidates, thus meeting the first constitutional requirement to be declared the winner of the election.
For the presidential election, I, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, hereby certify that I am the returning officer for the 2023 presidential election held on the 25th of February 2023. The election was contested. The candidates received the following votes. Tinubu Bola Ahmed of the APC, 8,794,726. Bobby Peter Gregory of the LP, 6,101,533. Musa Mohammed Rabiu Konkoso of the NNPP, 1,496,687. Abubakar Atiku of the PDP, 6,984,520. Total valid votes 24,025,940. Rejected votes 939,278. Total votes cast 24,965,218. That Tinubu Bola Ahmed of the APC, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
He also scored over 25% of the votes cast in 30 states, more than the 24 states constitutionally required. INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu, who announced the final results in the early hours of Wednesday in Abuja, said Atiku Abubakar of the PDP came in second in the election. Atiku polled a total of 6,984,520 votes in the election. Peter Obi of the Labour Party came in third in the election as he scored about 6 million, a total of 6,101,000 1,533 votes, while Rabiu Kwankwaso of the NNPP came in fourth with 1,496,687 votes. Yakubu said a certificate of return for the president and vice president will be or has been presented by 3 p.m. on Wednesday at the National Collation Center in Abuja. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated the winner of the 2023 presidential election and candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu. Reacting to Tinubu's victory in a statement by his spokesman, Garba Shehu, the president congratulated Tinubu on the victory, and he described Tinubu as the best person for the job, which he will not do, or he will now work with. The federal government says it has developed and deployed SolidWorks advanced software technology for the implementation of methanol fuel production in Nigeria. The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, Mrs. Monilola Udo, made this known while declaring open the workshop on implementation of the National Policy on Methanol Fuel Production Technology Strategy in Abuja. The Permanent Secretary, who said that Nigeria needs alternative sources of energy, noted that the shift towards renewable and clean energy resources has become a necessity for Nigeria to diversify its energy sources. She stressed that methanol fuel production, which has the potential of benefiting the economy and the environment in several ways, is a viable option for the country and should be harnessed.
Implementation of a technology strategy for methanol fuel production in Nigeria will require the use of advanced software tools like SolidWorks. The ministry, in collaborating with Messrs. Koscharis Technologies Limited, is hosting this training on the use of advanced manufacturing technologies, AMT, software, and SolidWorks solutions to drive projects and programs in the ministry. The policy aims to create a framework which can attract foreign investment into the methanol fuel industry and anticipates the involvement of the domestic, financial, and commercial sectors of the economy in stimulating growth of the methanol fuel industry in Nigeria. The ministry is determined to properly implement the policy to birth a new era of sustainable alternate fuel. Increased flare gas utilization, reduced dependence on crude oil, and have a cleaner environment.
The Director, Environmental Sciences and Technology Department in the Ministry, Dr. Peter Ekweozo, however, revealed that the Ministry was driving a number of technologies that would impact the socio-economic development of the country.
This policy will impact on several sectors of the economy. It will accelerate the implementation of the nationally determined contribution under the barrier agreement. These seven sectors actually have been pledged by the federal government to be committed in cutting down global warming by 47%. These sectors are agriculture, energy, industry, water resources, waste sector, transportation, and oil and gas. Now, it is pertinent for the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation to come up with solutions, innovations, technologies, scientific tools that will enable the country implement all these global conventions under the Paris Agreement.
Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman, Presidential Transition Council, Boss Mustafa, on behalf of Federal Executive Council, has congratulated the President-elect Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Vice President-elect Senator Kashim Shettima on their victory at the just concluded presidential election as announced by INEC. FEC notes that the President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a seasoned administrator, a technocrat of monumental proportion, an astute politician, and a committed party man whose unrivaled determination is to move the country forward. It has the confidence that the incoming administration would build on the legacies of the outgoing administration for a guaranteed, united, peaceful, prosperous, and virile nation. President-elect Bola Tinubu has assured Nigerians that he would be the chief servant and serve Nigeria with all sincerity. Bola Tinubu made this known at the APC Presidential Campaign Council headquarters in Abuja shortly after he was declared winner of the presidential elections in Nigeria.
The joy of democracy, the power of deciding what next.
He thanked the Nigerian people for their abiding belief in democracy, noting that he will be a fair leader to all Nigerians. And he also added that he will charge up Nigerians' energies and harness its talent to deliver a nation that would be proud, or Nigerians will be proud of. He therefore appealed to opposition parties and his challengers to join him in his mission to achieve the desired country. Federal government has assured and urged former President Olusegun Obasanjo not to truncate the 2023 election with his inciting, self-serving and provocative letter on the elections. The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, who issued the statement, said what the former president cunningly framed as an appeal for caution and ratification was nothing but a calculated attempt to undermine the electoral process and a willful incitement to violence. Mohammed expressed shock and disbelief that a former president could throw around unverified claims and amplify wild allegations picked up from the streets against the electoral process. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, warned political actors to avoid actions or utterances that set the stage for interventions that could be fatal to the democracy and the gains made over the last 2 decades. The Speaker, who gave the warning while delivering his welcome address at the resumption of plenary after the Presidential and National Assembly elections, vowed that they would resist any attempt by malign actors seeking to exploit this moment of tension for their own ends. He also vowed that they would defeat the cynicism of those waiting to see their worst predictions for the country become real. A fire accident that occurred today in Kurmi Market in Kano State has destroyed a total of 80 shops. The public relations officer of the Kano State Fire Service, Saminu Abdullahi, confirmed the incident in a statement. He said the service received an emergency call at about 5:23 a.m. from one Aliyu Al-Kazim over the outbreak of the fire disaster. Independent National Electoral Commission Sokoto State has declared all the National Assembly elections in the state inconclusive. The spokesman of the commission in the state, Dr. Shamsuddin Haliru, who disclosed this to newsmen, said all the 11 constituencies and the 3 senatorial districts have not been returned. Therefore, supplementary elections will be held. Newsmen reported that there has been confusion over the delay in announcing the National Assembly election results in the state, with supporters of the 2 major political parties taking to social media platforms to announce the fake results in favor of their respective parties. According to the results collated, candidates of the 2 major political parties in the state, the PDP and the APC, were leading in different areas. You're listening to Citizen FM 93.7. It's the news at 6. Economic Community of West African States Parliament has kick-started a process aimed at ensuring seamless communication within the West African sub-region. This was even as the regional parliament lamented the difficulties associated with roaming within the ECOWAS sub-region. Speaking during the opening ceremony of the delocalized meeting of the Joint Committee on Telecommunications and Information Technology Education, Science and Culture, Trade, Customs and Free Movement in Niamey, Niger Republic, Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Sidi Mohamed Tunis, said issues concerning telecommunications, mobile roaming and its tariff were quite critical, and they constitute major ingredients in the ECOWAS integration process. International Monetary Fund, IMF, has disclosed that only 24% of loans disbursed under the Anchor Borrowers Program of the Central Bank of Nigeria have been repaid. This disclosure was contained in the IMF's Selected Issues paper on Nigeria, which was prepared by a staff team of the fund as background documentation for the periodic consultation with the country. According to the IMF, agricultural credit in the country has not significantly boosted production, even though there is the challenge of targeting the right recipients for the credit. It further noted that the document was based on the information available as of the time it was completed on January 12, 2023. And in Greece, at least 32 people were killed and another 85 injured after 2 trains collided near the Greek city of Larissa as emergency services raced to find survivors among the charred wreckage. According to the authorities, several carriages were almost completely destroyed in the collision between a passenger train and a freight train just before midnight, with one car appearing to catch fire and trap passengers inside. Smoke and flames emerged from several cars, some of which had overturned when they came off the tracks in the impact, leaving a tangled mess of metal and shattered glass. And in sports, Odion Ighalo played for Manchester United in 2021 and was forced to endure a tough upbringing in Lagos before making it as a professional footballer. Former Manchester United forward Odion Ighalo was forced to contend with a harsh upbringing before his rise to football stardom, which currently sees him battling Cristiano Ronaldo for the Golden Boot in Saudi Arabia. Ighalo, who currently plays for Al Hilal, has made a name for himself in English football during his time at Watford before returning to the Premier League with United on loan in 2021. That's about the news tonight, as compiled by Aisha Shuaibu Badegi. Before we go, a look at news that made headlines. INEC declares Tinubu winner of the presidential elections. President-elect Ahmed Tinubu pledges to preserve and to serve Nigeria submissively. And we told you on the foreign scene that 32 people have been confirmed dead in Greece. Thank you for staying with us on the news. It's as compiled and edited by Aisha Shuaibu Badegi. To listen to us online, please visit citizenfm.ng. I am Didiano. Do stay with us. Super Citizen at Sunset continues in a bit.
Looking for the best in news updates?
Yeah, man.
Listen to Citizen FM 93.